if you can, in fact, hear me, just say yes. So glad to see all of your wonderful names back in the list of attendees, and this is all about you. So I want you to really, let's all just take a deep breath together. And just settle into this time and this space. And if someone would just let me know that you can, in fact, hear me, say, yes, 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 we can hear you. It would really be helpful, because all my bells and whistles are saying that, but I want to make sure that everyone can actually hear me. So for those of you who are new, I am Janet Grace Nelson. So however you found yourself to this webinar today, I am truly grateful, and I would invite you, if you have not already grabbed a pen and paper, to in fact grab a pen and paper, and you'll want to take some notes, because this thing called your life is waiting to express itself even more. Yes, thank you, Carmen, for letting me know that you can hear me, and Jennifer and Samantha. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So today's webinar is, and we're back at noon because there was such a request to bring it back to this time zone. So thank you for letting me know that this time, in fact, does work best for you. And also for any of you who did miss the last few weeks, or even want to go back to some of the webinars that I've been doing since July, I believe. I believe I started them in July. So there's at least a dozen webinars available on my website. And you can just download them, or you can just listen to them right there. There's some really powerful information to really help you to live the life that you are here to live, to love the life that you are here to live. And really the title of this entire series is Love Your Life Now. Because this is not a dress rehearsal. This is the life you get to live. And when you start expanding the ways in which you spread yourself out, allowing bigger ideas to come, we're going to be discussing a lot of the different ways that you can expect more good in your life, really start believing in yourself in a bigger way, really start opening yourself up to a bigger idea and an understanding that this extraordinary, friendly, amazing, infinite universe is here to support you. Every breath you take, every idea you allow yourself to accept as a possibility for your life, all of those things are really the way in which you're understanding yourself as a conscious, creative being. And that's what each one of us is. And as we start to understand that, and we start to understand our relationship with this infinite, expansive universe, and really understand the creative power that you wield with every thought that you think, and connect intimately with the creative energy of this universe, which is either love or fear. So fear will create things too, but that's not really what you want. You want to create your life from the energy of love. And love, as an acronym, is lift our vibration eternally. So as we're lifting our ideas and our beliefs and our understandings about ourselves, we're also opening ourselves up to saying, ooh, what would I love? What would I love to create for my life? So, also in the chat box, if there's anything in particular that you're going through at this time, or an area of your life that you would love for me to focus on as I'm bringing to you these principles, these love your life principles. Um, we have the area of health and well-being. We have the area of your creative work in the world, or your creative expression, your relationships, and your financial freedom and flow. And all of those are tied up in a beautiful little ball that's known as yourself as a spiritual being, having this human adventure. So if there's any area that you would like for me to focus these teachings, I would love to do that for you, because once again, this is all about you. This is all for you. It is my great honor and pleasure to bring to you teachings every single week that absolutely support your expanded journey called your life. So, without further ado, I'm going to just get started, because this week is really all about living in delicious expectancy. And when that phrase came to me years ago, when I was starting on the path of actually teaching these principles and becoming a spiritual life coach and an agape practitioner, and I had really gone deep into my studies to understand these principles so intimately that I knew that this was my life's purpose and my life's work. Even though I had been living this way for 35 years, I knew, I knew the power of my mind that was here to create the life that I was living. And for those of you who are not familiar with my story, I was in a near-death motorcycle accident 35 years ago. And I broke over 100 bones in my body. I flew 60 feet off the back of a motorcycle and landed in a pile of rubble in in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night. And and so when they found me and took me to the nearest hospital and literally put Humpty Dumpty back together again, um, there were things that I remembered my first waking thought being, thank you, God, for this precious gift of life. And shortly after gaining consciousness, about a week later, um, my second thought and my question was, where's Mark, my dear friend who was driving the motorcycle? And he had broken his neck and had passed away instantly. And so there was just that, that heavy, heavy feeling in my heart, as we all have gone through and experienced loss of dear friends and family members. Um, and I also knew that I had been given this precious gift. And I knew that it was a gift. And I knew that from this gift, my mindset was, I'm going to spend the rest of my life giving back to God this precious gift that He gave to me. So I also was given the diagnosis after many, many facial surgeries. I broke every bone in my face, and they literally put my face back together from a photograph. Um, and my back was broken in several places, and my lung was collapsed. My skull was cracked. There were a lot of a lot of things that the doctors were miracle workers in putting the broken pieces back together, which is the title of my book. If any of you are interested in purchasing my book, it's not only my story, but it's many people's stories, whether they were broken in love or broken in relationships or physically broken or even broken emotionally. There's some beautiful stories of people's strength and courage and determination and persistence and and faith. Absolutely, the faith of a mustard seed that I know that I tapped into and stand here today, 35 years later, and this is my life's work. And I also just saw the movie. It was my birthday yesterday, and so I was with my BFF in Burbank, and we went to see 90 Minutes in Heaven. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, it just came out last Friday, but it's a beautiful story of a man who also had survived a very tragic accident, and he spent 90 minutes in heaven. And it's a beautiful story. So my the diagnosis and the prognosis that they'd given me after being in the hospital for 2.5 months was that I would never walk again, that I would never have children, and that they did the best they could putting my face together from a photograph, but only time would tell. And there was something in me that was bigger than that diagnosis or that prognosis about the vision that they held for my life and what they believed was possible. And so this terminology, this phrase, living in delicious expectancy, has been something that has been a way of living for me for the last 35 years, even when things don't look so good. So look at the areas in your life that you're building. Maybe you're building a new career. Maybe you're building new relationships. Maybe you are building a brighter health and well-being and wanting to live more vibrantly, more healthy, more vivaciously. Maybe all of those things. And so I want you to really look at your life and where is it that you can live in delicious expectancy of more good coming to you and through you for you, because this is a great way to live. And so I knew, my heart knew. See, I believe that the head thinks, but the heart knows. And then once the heart knows, then we need to tell the head what to think. So when you're telling your head that I am going to walk again, I am going to have children, I am going to be pretty again, I am going to live a healthy, vibrant, full of life existence. What does that specifically look like for you? So I want you to really look at, what is it? What would you love? Decide what you want. Write some things down. When you're in an environment, which I call this an infinite mind. I was also, Bob Proctor was one of my first mastermind teachers, and Mary Morrissey. And Bob Proctor used to say, tap into the infinite mind. And so I call these infinite or infinite mind mastermind gatherings. So when you're opening up your heart and opening up your head to allow new ideas, not the same repetition over and over and over again, and you're in an experience for this next 45 minutes where we're absolutely here. Each one of us is here to support anything and everything that you can hope for, wish for, and desire. And my work as a spiritual life coach is to absolutely be your partner in believing as you are opening yourself up to a bigger believing of what's possible for your life. And how do we do that? We set our intention. Decide what you want. What would you truly love in your life? And your intention is what creates your reality. And this beautiful quote is from the late, great Dr. Wayne Dyer. And he was an extraordinary, and still is, because he still lives on in our minds and in our hearts. And he passed away just less than 2 weeks ago. And he was one of my first teachers. I read his book, Your Erroneous Zones, 6 months before my motorcycle accident. And I do believe that his wisdom that seeped into my subconscious mind allowed me to believe something bigger about myself than what my diagnosis was. So, what is it that you can open your heart to believe something bigger is possible for you? And with the creative force and the creative energy of love, I want you to really entertain this question. What would you love? What would you love? What would you love to create in the area of your career or your creative expression? What bigger ideas? It's kind of scare you a little. Bob Proctor used to say, if it doesn't scare you a little, if you're not dreaming big enough and you're not living on the edge, then you're taking up too much space. And he'd say, you don't want to live in that place of comfort because there's no growth in that place. So where is it that you would love to grow in your life? In the financial aspects, in what would financial freedom and flow look like for you to have more than enough, not just enough, more than enough, more than enough financial freedom, more than enough vibrant health and well-being. Have a skip in your step every single day. What would that look like? What would that feel like? Use your five senses. This is what our five senses in the physical realm, in our third dimensional experience, called this human monkey suit that we're all wearing. We get to use our five senses. So what would it look like? What would it feel like? What would it taste like? What would it smell like? And what would it sound like? What would it sound like to be lying on a beautiful private beach on the island of Bali with your soulmate, drinking some exotic tropical fruit drink and feeling the sun on your skin and hearing the waves of the ocean and hearing the songbirds singing to you? You get the feeling. Use your five senses to really use your creative visualization, your imagination that you're born with. In fact, one of the one of the um, one of the previous webinars that I did was tapping into your creative genius, and it taps into your six mental faculties. So if that's of interest to you and you want to know more about that, there is a webinar that's called Tap Into Your Creative Genius. So, but in this moment, looking at what would you love? What would you love? What would you love in the area of relationships? Loving, supportive, energizing, relationships. That just when you think of the people that you're sharing your life's journey with, your whole heart, your whole being skips a step because you're so grateful for these amazing people in your life and your relationships with life itself, your relationships with yourself. Can you say several times a day, I love me, I love me, and I love my life, and I'm so grateful for every breath that I take. I'm so grateful for all the people in my life. I'm so grateful for the opportunities that continue to show themselves every single day. I'm so grateful for my work in the world that's rich and meaningful and that I know will make a difference long after my physical body is gone. That ripple effect. Like I was saying, Dr. Wayne Dyer he's still here. He will continue to inspire and empower us with his wisdom and his knowledge by the legacy that he left behind. What legacy do you want to leave behind with your thumbprint on it, with your breath of life that you're living right here, this moment, this precious day? What does that look like for you? And so as you are jotting things down and allowing new ideas to come to you and through you, one of the best spiritual principles to have a deep understanding of is that everything is created twice. Everything. First is a thought before it can become a thing. The computer that you're sitting in front of, my beautiful cup of tea that says, I love my life. This was first someone's idea, and then it became reality. Then it became a thing. So gather up all of your scattered dreams and build a life you love, one thought at a time, one idea at a time, one I would love that at a time, and build the life you truly love. That's how powerful you are. You are the creator of your reality. So what are you creating? With an element of delicious expectancy. What is it that you expect to become your reality? Each and every opening is a possibility. And I always say that as we are gathering and you are in this infinite mind mastermind group and you're opening yourself up to bigger possibilities for yourself and you're letting yourself think and believe bigger, there's someone that sits on your shoulder, or at least there's someone who has a tendency, and I've given him the name of Jiminy Critic. And when I am in this kind of an environment and I am allowing myself to think bigger, to believe bigger, I am absolutely saying, Jiminy Critic, you're not invited to this party. So it could be Jiminy Critic, could be Debbie Doubter, whatever name you give him or her, just don't let them come to this party. Give yourself permission to think bigger. Write down those ideas, even if they scare you. I have a practice that I share with a lot of my private clients, and it's 50 I would love in my life list, and you don't stop until you get to 50, and you can take on that practice. Don't stop at 19. Don't stop at 27. Don't limit yourself. Don't shortchange yourself. With all the infinite possibilities in the universe, grab them. Grab them and write them down. Even if they scare you, even if you say, so I want to have lunch with Barbara Streisand. I have no idea how. I don't know anybody who knows her. But I absolutely want to have lunch with Barbara Streisand. She's been an inspiration of mine my whole life. I love her voice. I love, so many things about what she stands for and how dynamic she's been in some of the causes that are near and dear to my heart. I'd love to have lunch with her. Does it scare me a little? Absolutely. Still wrote it down. Write it down. Write down any of them. Where would you love to travel? Who would you love to have lunch with? Would you love to spend some time in the White House? Would you love to become a spokesperson for something that's near and dear to your heart? What is it that you would love, that when you think about it, it lights you up like nothing else? Gather up your scattered dreams. Gather up those, I didn't even ever believe it was possible until now. And I'm willing to open myself up to the possibility of a bigger believing. And what would that experience feel like for you? These are muscles. These are spiritual muscles, just like going to the gym and building the physical muscles of your body. This is how you build spiritual muscles of the heart and mental muscles of. This is how you do this. And it's not about, oh, I did it once. Just like you don't go to the gym one time and lift a weight and say, okay, I'm done. I don't need to do this ever again. You have to keep building the muscles of your physical body. You have to keep building the spiritual muscles of your heart and the mental muscles of your mind every single day. This is how you get stronger, more confident, more courageous, more committed to you and understanding the power that you wield to create the life you truly love. So as we do this, we start to live in more delicious expectancy, believing that you can live in the knowing that miracles are happening. Expect miracles. Miracles happen in moments. Be open, ready, and willing to receive. This quote. I love this because if you don't believe in miracles, they're not going to happen. There's a whole other layer and dimension of living in that delicious expectancy that miracles are happening every day. My daughter was just telling me that she goes with her grandmother every year to the opera. And one of our favorite movies when she was growing up was Cinderella. And and there's this beautiful song, that miracles are happening every day. Miracles are happening every day. And when you believe that, when you live that, and you live with the expectancy that miracles are happening in and as and through your life every single day, they're absolutely happening. Be open, ready, and willing to receive the miracles, the blessings, the grace that is here for you every single moment. And one of the important aspects to this whole richening of your relationship with miracles, your relationship with living at a higher level of conscious awareness, of conscious expectancy, of conscious opening and receptivity of all the good that is here for you, is that you must believe in yourself. And and my belief in all of this is that there's actually a children's book that Mary Morrissey turned us onto years and years and years ago called The Big Me and the Little Me. And the little me is our ego self, is our constricted self, is our limited self. And the big me is the you that you come to understand as an intimate connection to this beautiful, infinite universe. The big me, the big you, is your God self, your goddess self. We are all made in the image and the likeness of the Creator itself. God, life, love, source, universe, whatever you want to label it. But we are all made of that infinite intelligence. We can't birth ourselves. We can't breathe ourselves. It is life breathing you. It is life giving you life. And when you believe in yourself as one with this beautiful presence and power of life, then all things are possible. Everything and anything you can hope for, wish for, and desire is absolutely possible because it came to you, through you, for you. And Edison actually believed this too. His method of meditation was, he would say he was going into the land of possibilities. So he would go into this quiet space. He would go on his rocking chair, and he would put a rock in his hand, and he would rock, and he would go into what he called the land of possibilities. He would close his mind and open up his heart to the solutions and the possibilities of what he was working on. And for all of us, his persistence, his determination, and his belief are what absolutely created electricity. He believed that there was a possibility of a replacement of oil lamp illumination. And he learned 10,000 plus ways for it not to come to be. And he stayed persistent because he believed it was possible. Believing in yourself with a capital S, your bigger self, the bigger you, the you that's connected to this infinite, intimate universe that is here to lovingly support any dream, any wish, any hope, any desire that you have in your heart for all the good that you want. More loving relationships, more vibrant health, more fulfilling work in the world, more financial freedom and flow, so that you have more than enough to be what you are here to be, to give what you are here to give, to have what you are here to have, and to receive what you are here to receive. All of this is within you as you open up your heart. This month, my message, if you go on to janetgracenelson.com, there's a free monthly meditation on my homepage. And September is the month to spread your wings and soar. How can you spread your wings? How can you open up your heart to live with a bigger believing and live in more delicious expectancy of all that's possible for you. And how is it that you can continue to grow and continue to expect miracles? So look at something that you've written down either today or something that you possibly are working on. It's bigger than anything that that you have allowed yourself to really work with. And maybe it's transitioning into a new career. Um, so let's take that one. Since I know there's several of you that are on this call today that are stepping into a bigger, a bigger stage, a bigger playground for your work in the world. That calling for you to really discover, declare, and deliver your unique gifts and talents to make a difference in the world. And you've felt that pull, your purpose is pulling you and saying, now is the time. So when you're looking at that, and look at allowing yourself to say, do I live in doubt? This is possible? Do I let that doubt pull me down? Remember, I was saying, Debbie Doubter lives, right here on our left shoulder sometimes. And sometimes she's so big that she won't even let us move into the next step or the next phase. So we just gently tell her, you're not invited. You're not invited to this party because there's something bigger than you that's calling for you to absolutely step forward, spread your wings, and live with this delicious expectancy that it's possible. I love this quote by Audrey Hepburn, who happens to be one of my daughter's favorite actresses, and she just loves her spirit and her wisdom. But she has a quote that says, nothing is impossible. Even the word says, I'm possible. So, what are you believing in you? And what are you allowing yourself to say? Not only am I possible, I'm possible. Everything that I can hope for, wish for, and desire is possible. And I just have to open myself up to continuously believing and expecting that my steps are ordered, one step at a time, one breath at a time, one miracle at a time. And what is it that you can do today? One of my beautiful mentors, Karen Joyce, would say, what one thing can you do today to move you in the direction of your dreams? Just one. Sometimes we get overwhelmed and we think it's so big. It's so much bigger than I am. So, what one thing could you do today? When I was healing from my motorcycle accident, and they told me that I would never walk again without assistance, I would never walk without a walker, I would never be able to be balanced, strong enough on my own. But there was something in me that believed, and something in me that believed. And I didn't climb those mountains or walk my 20-minute mile that first day. It was one step at a time, one wobbly step at a time. So what step are you ready to take today? One step moving you in the direction of your dreams that allows you to know that it is possible, that you are possible. I'm possible because I believe in myself? What do you believe about yourself? And living in delicious expectancy that it's all unfolding perfectly. It's all unfolding in absolute divine timing for you. So I love this quote by Oprah Winfrey. Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life because you become what you believe. What do you believe about yourself? Believe that you're capable, you're possible, you're absolutely, absolutely possible to do anything and everything your heart desires. Create the highest, grandest vision. This is what I teach in my programs, and I'm actually going to be starting a program called Set Yourself Free Now. And it's a group program that we're going to be starting in October 1st. So I'll be sending you some more information about that in your inbox. But what it really does is it's a continuous support structure that allows you to take your ideas, your visions, and open yourself up, continuously building on that strong foundation of the beginning of that idea. Remember earlier I said everything is created twice. First, it's in your head and in your heart. And then you take the steps possible. You take that one step. What one thing could you do today? And then listen. And as you understand the stepping stones from idea to creation, then you get to start doing that intentionally and not by chance. Because when you start living with that intention, remember, intention is the beginning. Intention creates your reality. When you start living with intention that you are creating with every single thought you think, and then I open you up to understanding the methodical steps you need to take in order to bring that intention into technicolor life, called your life. And you do that with that absolute understanding that there are steps you need to take in order to take it from an intention to your reality. And then you start to live with this conscious awareness of how powerful every single thought you think is absolutely creating your reality. And I do it with fun. I do it with a sense of uh, playfulness. There's many parts of it. I say we're going to live in the playground of infinite possibilities, and when you make it fun, it takes the seriousness off of some of this work that feels like, oh, I didn't do it right, and oh, I didn't do this right or do that right. What if you could absolutely start believing that everything you did was perfect? And there were no mistakes, ever. Mistakes are just an opportunity for you to learn and expand a deeper believing about yourself. So, living with the highest, grandest vision. All of my programs are vision-driven programs, which means we spend our energy and our attention and our intention looking in the windshield and looking forward into your life. What is it that you would love to create as you are stepping into this grand vision for your life? What's possible for your life? And when you start living from that level, the doors start to open. The phone starts to ring. Opportunities start to fall into place. And those become your everyday miracles. People think that miracles are things that are just poof and they're just created. But the bottom line is you are in alignment with this infinite, intimate, expansive universe, and you can intentionally create miracles every single day. I know that my children are miracles that I created first in my head, my mind, and my heart because I believed it was possible, even though the doctors said there is no possibility of you ever being able to conceive or carry a child. I always believed. I dug deep into those old scattered dreams and I said, I wanted a family. I want a family. If I was given this precious gift of life, I wasn't going to stop there. I was going to say, what would I love? I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I didn't have the language that I have today, but I always believed in my heart that I was going to be a mother. And 3 years after my accident, my daughter was born. And a year and a half later, my precious son Trevor was born. And he's going to celebrate his 30th birthday on October 9th. So just in less than a month. And they are my miracle babies. They are my miracles brought to life. But I also believe that I believed in that miracle before it came to be. So, what miracles are you willing to believe are possible for your life? Really dig deep into your heart. What are some of the dreams that you've buried over and you're now ready at this stage in your life to dust them off? And as a transformational spiritual life coach, I help my clients transform their current life into the life of their dreams because I know that it's possible. I know that any dream that you can hold in your heart is possible for you. I know that because I've watched miracles upon miracles upon miracles happen every single day. And if you want to look at some of the miracles that some of my clients have created, there's a testimonial section on my website that there's video clips of many, many, many of my clients who have taken a grand vision and I've held their hand and their heart through the entire process. And now that vision is their reality. It is the life they're living. So as you are continuing to open yourself up to live in delicious expectancy, the quality of the question is really, what are you ready to expect more of in your life and more of for your life? More love, more joy, more peace, more freedom, more opportunities. So are you ready? Are you ready? There's a question that um, Cynthia Kersey, who um, wrote the book Unstoppable, and she has now an Unstoppable Foundation where she's built over 25 schools in Africa. And I am a contributor to her beautiful, beautiful foundation and her beautiful cause to offer the opportunity for children to get an education no matter where they are in the world. And I just love Cynthia. And she posed a question in her book that I had read 12 years ago called Unstoppable. And then now she's become a dear friend. Um, but she says, are you just interested or are you committed? When you're interested, you're leaving room for yourself to just let yourself off the hook, not really going for it. If you are committed, committed to your dream, committed to yourself, committed to this precious thing called your life, and you live in delicious expectancy that anything and everything is possible for you, what would that look like? Your work is what would you love? Live in that question. And as you do, you can start painting pictures, start painting images. We think in pictures. So as you are opening yourself up to that part of you that can maybe allow a new idea of your work in the world, what would that look like? Will you be writing books? Will you be speaking on stages in front of thousands of people? Are you ready to expect more for your life? More for your life is life. The acronym that I created for life is live in full expression. When you are living in full expression, you are living on the edge. You aren't taking up too much space. You are ready to soar. You're ready to fly. You're ready to spread your wings and really express this precious thing called life that is breathing you, that is living through you, that wants only the best for you. And you start living in delicious expectancy that if you can think it, can visualize it, can believe that it's possible, then it is. And you just keep entertaining the what one thing could I do today to move me in the direction of that dream becoming my reality. And as you do, you get to say, I love my life. Set an intention to love your life now. Not in 10 years, not in 2 years, not even in 2 months. Set your intention to say, I love my life now. Because as you start living from that place, you choose to make the rest of your life the best of your life. I love that quote by Louise Hay. And let yourself feel it. What would it feel like to love your life? What would it feel like to live your purpose, to live with passion, to live with that playfulness, that your life is a playground of infinite possibilities. And it's also my great honor and pleasure to offer you a free discovery session, a free Love Your Life break free session. So once again, on my homepage is an opportunity for you to type in your name and your email address and sign up for this complimentary break free session. It is a 30-minute session that is focused and intentional on everything and anything that you are personally working on right now. Are you ready to love your life now? And whether it's relationships, whether it's your work in the world that you are ready to step into a new phase of your life, and When we're moving into something new, it can be scary and exciting all in the same breath. And you want it to be more exciting than scary. But I'm here to hold your hand and your heart through all of it. And the first step to saying yes to you is to go onto my homepage and sign up for a free break-free session. Because like I said, it's 30 minutes. It's all about you, and it's you and I speaking on the phone, one-on-one, and we're talking about what's going on in your life, in your head, in your heart right now. And how is it that I can support you in living the life that you truly love? Because this is not a dress rehearsal. This is the only life you get in this monkey suit. We are spiritual beings having a human adventure. And this human adventure is really just a dash. It's a dash in this eternal experience called your soul's life or your spiritual being. And so this dash, you get to consciously create the life that you're living. And we are such powerful creative beings. Each one of us is going to create another year of life. We can gather together on September 16th, 2016, and each one of us will have created another year of life. You want to do it intentionally. You want to do it with delicious expectancy that anything that you can hope for, wish for, and desire is absolutely possible for your life. And it is my great honor and pleasure to hold your hand in your heart to help you in any way, shape, any way possible to create this life that you truly love. Because you do want to wake up every single day and you want to say, I love my life. I love my life. And as you say that, all the cells of your being are standing at attention with this sense of aliveness. And you keep saying, what's next? I love my life and I'm living in delicious expectancy that even more miracles, even more magic, even more extraordinary opportunities for me to experience this precious thing called life are here for me every single day. So if you have any last questions that you want to share or put in the chat box, or also I want to say if you've gotten any value out of today's webinar, please don't keep me a secret. Please don't keep me a secret. Put on the Facebook page, the Love Your Life free webinar page. Share it with your friends. Tell me something that you've received today. What gift did you get today? Maybe you have a bigger believing about yourself and the possibilities that are here for you, that you can create a miraculous life and live in delicious expectancy. I absolutely love and adore each and every one of you. And I love sharing these principles every single week. Next week, we're going to be honoring the energy of stepping into the autumn season and living in grateful harvest. What is it that you are grateful for? And harvesting more good in your life. So I love you. I honor you. I look forward to supporting you and to being on this journey. Please, if it's calling for you to have a break-free session, please don't hesitate. Go onto my website today. It is my great honor and pleasure to serve and support you each and every step of the way. I love you so much. Namaste. Peace and richest blessings. to each and every one of you. Bye for now. Have a beautiful week.